Good evening and welcome to another video. Today is Thursday the 18th of August 2016, and in tonight's video I'm going to look ahead and preview day 2 of the PDC 2016 Ladbrokes Sydney Darts Masters. Now it's the 5th event of the World Series 2016. Now day 2 of the Sydney Darts Masters sees the quarter-finals take place. We're going to see 4 matches take place, all of the best of 19 leg format. And we've got 6 seeded players still left in the draw. We lost 2 seeded players in the first round in the last 16. We lost James Wade and we lost Ryan van Barneveld. But we're still left with 6 seeded players and 2 unseeded players. So let's get down to the action. We'll start with Gary Anderson, number 1 seed, and he takes on the number 5 seed, Phil Taylor. Now these two have played 53 times before, and Phil Taylor leads head-to-head with 37 wins. Gary has won 14 occasions and there's been 2 draws. They played 6 times so far this year and Phil has won on 5 occasions. But Gary Anderson's only win against the pair came in a World Series event in Dubai in May, where he won the semi-final stage by 11 legs to 7. Now Gary Anderson in round 1 beat David Platt by 6 legs to 3. He averaged 79.64 and he was 20.69% on doubles. This is a strange match because you never generally see Gary averaging so low, and he was very, very disappointing in this match, but David wasn't much better. Gary seemed to be put off with David Platt when he walked back from the board. It was like he was put off because David was talking to himself, and that really did affect him in this match, because even when he did put in the 180s, he was following up with rubbish because you could see that David started talking to himself, and that really did seem to put Gary off, which is surprising because you don't think a tactic like that would put off such a top player like Gary Anderson. And he takes on Phil Taylor. Now he beat Corey Cadeby 6-3 in his first round match with a 95.06 average, and he was 31.58% on doubles. Now Phil played decent in this match, but he was pushed all the way by Corey, who played some decent darts in this match. Phil will be hoping to average about 5 points more when he takes on Gary Anderson in this quarter-final match. So what do I think is going to happen in this match? I think the longer format will suit Gary Anderson over Phil Taylor. But Phil Taylor, as I said before, with the head-to-head this year, really does have the peak on Gary Anderson. But this isn't a major event, and I think that Gary Anderson will win this event by 10 legs to 7 over Phil Taylor. The second match of the evening sees the 4th seed Adrian Lewis take on the 6th seed Dave Chisnall. Now these two have played 23 times previously, and Dave slightly leads the head-to-head with 13 wins. Adrian has 10 wins and there's been 1 draw. They played 3 times this year, and Adrian has won on 1 occasion, and that was the Premier League in February. But Dave has won the most 2 recent meetings between these pair in the World Series in both Shanghai and both Dubai in the quarter-finals matches. So Adrian Lewis in round 1 beat Rob Savo by 6 legs to 3 with a 93.13 average, and he was 30% on doubles. Now Adrian played 2 spells in this match. He got 3-0 up, then he lost 2 legs in a row. But the turning point in this match was Rob Savo missing 4 darts at double in leg 6, and Adrian Lewis jumped in and took the leg, and he lost 1 leg from there on into the end of this match, winning by 6 legs to 3. Again, he wanted to up that average by at least 5 points if he to compete with someone like Dave Chisnall. Dave Chisnall beat Harley Kemp in his first round match by 6 legs to 1 with a 90.38 average, and he was 41.67 on doubles. That's a very low average for Dave Chisnall. Dave's generally a prolific scorer, but he didn't show his prolific scoring power in this match. But he didn't have to in this match because Harley Kemp was very poor in this match. And I think that he'll have to up his average by at least 8 points if he's to compete with Adrian Lewis in his quarter-final match. I think we'll see Dave score a lot better in his quarter-final match against Adrian, so I think it'll be a lot closer. So what do I think is going to happen in this quarter-final match? I think it's going to be a very close match. I think it's going to be very nitty-gritty. It could go either way, but I think that Adrian Lewis will overturn his 2 losses recently to Dave Chisnall in the World Series, and I think that Adrian Lewis will win this match by 10 legs to 8. The penultimate game of the evening sees the second seed Michael van Gerwen take on the unseeded Kyle Anderson. These two have played 6 times previously, and Michael leads the head-to-head with 4 wins to Kyle's 2 wins. There have been 4 meetings between this pair this year, which is surprising. They've only played twice other than this year, but now they've met 4 times already this year. And Michael van Gerwen has won on 3 occasions, including the last 2 meetings which took place last month. Kyle's only win came on the European Tour in June. So Michael van Gerwen beat Cody Harris in round 1 by 6 legs to 2 with 107.89 average and 54.55% on doubles. This was a bad performance for someone who's meant to be on holiday mood. He was absolutely outstanding in this match. And he takes on Kyle Anderson. Now Kyle Anderson beat Ryan van Barneveld by 6 legs to 1 with a 99.54 average, and he was 50% on the doubles as well in this match. Now I expected Kyle Anderson to beat the seeded player in this match, but I didn't expect to beat Ryan van Barneveld by such wide margin as 6 legs to 1. So it was an absolute outstanding performance by Kyle Anderson. Now, what do I think is going to happen in his quarter-final match with Michael van Gerwen? I think that Michael van Gerwen's got something over him in the last couple of matches. Kyle Anderson hasn't been up to his usual self, and I think the start of this match will be very, very important. I think Michael van Gerwen will fly out the gates at the start of this match, and I don't think Kyle Anderson will be able to hold on to his coattails. I think that Michael van Gerwen will win this match by 10 legs to 5 over Kyle Anderson. The last match of the evening sees the unseeded Australian Rhys Mathewson take on Peter Wright, who's the number 8 seed. Now, Rhys beat James by 6 legs to 5 in his first round match with an 84.49 average, and he was 31.58 on doubles. It was an absolute amazing comeback from Rhys. He came from 5-2 down, and James missed 3 match starts in this match. If we want to improve his average by at least 10 points and his double percentage by at least 10 points as well, but that was a phenomenal win for the underdog in his first round match for Rhys, and he was so proud to get into the second round and take on Peter Wright in the quarter-final stage. Talking about Peter Wright, he beat Simon Whitlock in his first round by 6 legs to 2 with a 99.51 average and 50% on doubles. It was a very, very professional performance by Peter Wright, and the standard we're used to seeing from Peter Wright. We're used to seeing that 99 average and 50% on doubles. He's so consistent with that performance, and I think he'll produce that in his quarter-final match against Rhys. So what do I think is going to happen in this match? I think that Peter Wright comes in this match as overwhelming favourite, and I think he'll get the job done against Rhys by 10 legs to 4. I think it'll be too much for Rhys. I think that average of 100 will be too much for Rhys's average about 90, and I think Peter will get this job done relatively easy in this match. I may be wrong, but I think Peter Wright will get the job done in this match by 10 legs to 4. So with that, that's the end of this video. Thank you for taking time to watch this video. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up on the video. If you've not enjoyed it, if you want to leave any feedback on this video, you can do so in the comment section below or by my own personal Twitter, which I'll also put in the description below. And if this video appears on the Tungsten Tickle website, you can leave feedback via their website, via their Twitter or via their Facebook. And until tomorrow when I preview the last day of the Ladbrokes Sydney Darts Masters, I will see you then. Goodbye.